I've spent the last couple days with college students, dozens of them actually, meeting in person in post-election processing spaces, some on the phone, and just wanted to share some of what we've been talking about as it might be useful for others. Post-election, a lot of folks are feeling intense emotions, and the first thing we did was really gather in community, practice our grounding, our breath together, our bilateral body stimulation, our butterfly hugs. We had 22 students that we thought we were going to talk to. We had at least 50 show up. They're really feeling a lot of things that they don't all know what to do with. We passed out our fidget toys, and then we began to just share and normalize. So for a lot of the elders who are saying things like, oh, why are they being such snowflakes? Remember that this is a first for many students. Remember that many of us come from populations which will be very directly impacted by political matters and policies. And so grief education or just emotion education was a big part of what we were doing. Normalizing that, students were saying, I feel confused. I don't know why I can't sleep, or why I had a nightmare, or I'm having this argument with somebody, or actually I'm numb. All within the realm of normal, that this is a new experience. It is actually a life-changing, country-changing new experience. And so normalizing that there are sometimes disassociation, and then this is how we cope, because hey, they still got midterms and finals coming. But what they didn't always expect was some of the other realms, the physical feelings, that sleep disturbance, the gut churning, the fatigue, the agitation. They didn't necessarily expect spiritual or existential impact. I'm questioning the meaning of what I'm doing, or what there is, or is there really a higher power? They don't always expect the intense emotions, which are ranging from sadness to anger and everything in between, and moments of joy, which I tell people don't feel bad for that. We grasp every joy, even when we suffer. And there's real social repercussions, which has been hard. People who are dealing with like the conflict between beliefs and values amongst my friends, or my parents canceling out my vote, and what does this all mean in my place socially? This is all the realms of a person's life as we think about flourishing, and it may all be impacted, and that is all normal. We talked about how it feels to understand the depth of oppression in this country, the depth of hate and distrust, how people are feeling so worried, marginalized themselves, disappointed, dehumanized, worried. And I was remembering myself, that part of me said, well, this isn't the first time that an electorate or political process has deeply, deeply let me down. But 4 years, a lot can happen. Not all of us will make it. There are real consequences to these policies. And 4 years when you're 19 or 22 is a very, very long time. So thinking about that as we think about how to support one another, and really planning how we fortify ourselves. We're sort of half joking about we are eating our feelings. We shared boba, we had pho, we went to exercise. How are we taking care of ourselves? But this is real. How do we stay healthy to be in the struggle? And perhaps the last bit I did share with them was a short piece by Rebecca Solnit, one of my favorite local authors here in the San Francisco Bay Area, author, historian, wonderful works that I recommend sometimes for therapy clients for different topics. But I do want to read what I shared, as the students also felt like there was a lot of perspective in just 3 paragraphs. So this is by Rebecca Solnit. They want you to feel powerless and to surrender and to let them trample everything, and you are not going to let them. You are not giving up, and neither am I. The fact that we cannot save everything does not mean we cannot save anything. and everything we can save is worth saving. You may need to grieve or scream or take time off, but you have a role no matter what, and right now, good friends and good principles are worth gathering in. Remember what you love. Remember what loves you. Remember in this tide of hate what love is. The pain you feel is because of what you love. The Wobblies used to say, don't mourn, organize. But you can do both at once. And you don't have to organize right away in this moment of furious mourning. You can be heartbroken or furious or both at once. You can scream in your car or on a cliff. You can also get up tomorrow and water the flower pots and call someone who's upset and check your equipment for going onward. A lot of us are going to come under direct attack, and a lot of us are going to resist by building solidarity and sanctuary. Gather up your resources, the metaphysical ones that are heart and soul and care, as well as the practical ones. People kept the faith in the dictatorships of South America in the 1970s and 1980s. In the East Bloc countries and the USSR, women are protesting right now in Iran, and people there are writing poetry. There is no alternative to persevering, and that does not require you to feel good. You can keep walking whether it's sunny or raining. Take care of yourself and remember that taking care of something else is an important part of taking care of yourself, because you are interwoven with the 10 trillion things in the single garment of destiny that has been stained and torn, but is still being woven and mended and washed. In the long run, we are also finding out now who is with us in community, and so give yourself grace. Link arms, link those texts and those communities. Treasure your power. Understand that the fight for equality or justice is a lifelong battle. And so you are allowed to rest, and we do need each other, and this will take time. And to become a human sacrifice is not the answer. That's not how you serve the movements and those you care most about. We can also make real impact, and we will continue to. And so that's where we are sitting now with our students and with our families. And I think the next request they have is guidance about how to talk with family members with which they are discovering they have deep value differences. So that is a next journey also as we enter the holidays. Thank you for everyone who is supporting and holding and continuing to gather and work for equality, and speaking up. Those who have the platform and have the privilege have, I feel, an obligation to stand up for those who are most marginalized and will be most attacked in the time to come. Be well, and I love to hear what other people are doing in their college communities as well.